IP being one of those squads who are looking to ramp up for today on top of Shopify. Let's jump into a listen-in with NIP as they hail from above onto Shopify.
Here, pulling here. Come with you. An arm right.
Where are they?
In armor. They're top of the ramp, running portal.
I have no heals, by the way. Give me armor. Go. I can W Phoenix.
That's the Gravity team, by the way, going into gardens.
Oh, get Sean, careful, careful. Go. Move, go, move!
Safe on me.
Holy fuck, man. Yeah, are you gonna take the fucking armor?
He gave me a Phoenix. Alright.
I mean, everything is shit here. Gotta be really careful.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about playing this when Rift Height is in. It's kind of shit.
So that's who you're shooting us?
Yeah.
Well, I think they seem loud.
By the way, we're getting shot entirely here. From here.
Fighting.
Fighting over
Yeah,
here.
can you portal to that? I'm with you.
I'm just looking.
No, you should portal, I'm with you.
There's a port here. They might take it back.
Let's get that guy. I'm gonna go run portal. Someone has to fucking anchor guys.
I'm not playing over there by myself. I'm gonna play in this choke and watch this choke.
Yeah. Oh, we have to watch our ramp. Run portal. Are they still fighting or no?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Right here.
A team of many words when we first tuned into the listen-in here, but, you know, with them trying to make their next move and now already trying to close in the gap here, you can see Vayne being on that Wraith. The Watson fences right in front of them. Already 4 to 5 different teams piled up in Gardens alone, while teams like Gen G and Flat are facing off by Clinic too. RC, though, aren't going to be giving up this spot, and that coexistence with the Warden Maggie herself. Somebody get laced, because we're going to be saying goodbye to Mad Maggie after this game.
Yeah, I know. As soon as we were looking at Ninjas in Pajamas, it was, you know, Kurev playing that Seer. Seer being banned, locks into the Mad Maggie, leaving Vayne on Wraith. We tune in to the remnants of the Genji versus Flat fight. And all 3 of Genji members still up for now, and I curse. The trades coming in, Nano down as well as Ziki. So a 2v2 situation. But we immediately prio pulling up Nano from the ground as Hugier being chased by Dexter.
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay. Okay. He said, don't follow me, Genji Esports. See you later.
You love it. You love it when you got the purple mag here too. He says, hasta la vista, getting that next knock. Gen G are now out of this lobby. First team out in our last game on Olympus before we move on over to Storm Point. And, taking a little zoom out. Giving me some whiplash. Falcons now starting to rotate here onto Gravity Engine, and right behind them is going to be Kino Trope. No team, though, waiting for Falcons up on the high ground by the staircase when you go out of Gardens. But with the action that we saw earlier from NIP, we know that there's a very big pileup from the early rotating teams already finding their real estate in Gardens.
True. And I'm not too worried with Falcons only having 7 points thus far in the series. The majority of their scoreline has come from World's Edge and Storm Point. And when we move over to Storm Point later on, I'd imagine that they're going to kind of ramp up onto the standings. But for now, turning it around with a 10-point game and some good early fights would be nice for them. It's just difficult because they've been starting in Stabilizer and making a rotate all the way into the already packed eastern side of things. For now, from Gravity, we're waiting for that ring console to just really dictate where we need to play from. A wrong decision will be costly on that final pop.
So it's going to be scary when, you know, you have very little room for error now that we're basically at this halfway point, right, Tiff? And now you see teams like Dory who take their time going in from Rift while waiting out from RRQ. They're looking down at Shopify, who have not moved, by the way, from this low ground spot that NIP kind of held them at, and Wolves on the other side of the low ground of RRQ, while Team Nemesis right on top of them, but playing a little split because over by where Elysium has now shifted all the way into the eastern side of the map, they have that one player of Nemesis getting that survey beacon so that way they know how they're going to rotate if they could play from the northern side of this next zone once they see that zone shift.
And as we see it pull through, flat on the other side towards Clinic, Sentinels at the bottom, Alliance, Virtus Pro, VK Gaming, Reject, and Havoc have found themselves with it pulling through. Now, Ninjas in Pajamas, when we had that listen in, they were talking about covering ground. He's like, I don't want to go play just that side of the circle and watch them by myself. They were really talking specifically about their location. They do have that Watsons. They were kind of fencing down across the way. You have Kurib on the Mad Maggie, and with Vayne on the Wraith constantly scouting, things like this are going to constantly break out. Havoc still trying to maintain the flow, approaching with a Mad Maggie ball that goes out the window still. Maybe it's a distraction for Reject. The portal away, and Reject has been eliminated.
Where was that portal going? Reject now the next team out of this lobby. Nowhere to go when your backs are stuck in a corner there. Falcons do take to the skies, by the way, looking to go in for their rotate. Other teams now with KSH.
And there they
are.
are.
Havoc too for how they're going to be able to at least hold their own, because it's going to be scary when they're at risk of elimination. You talk about Falcons taking to the skies to try to find their spot, and now they're on the other side of Gardens, Tiv.
Hey, look, if you find a place to play from, Flat's going to have to move in eventually, but a couple of teams are likely taking notice of it. When we saw that POV from Havoc, they looked to the sky. That was the Falcons flying in. They did get their feet on the ground, but everyone is putting the pressure. Missile swarms galore, and Flat say, we can move up on this, and we'll check in with that as a moment later as the Falcons are eliminated.
No way! We got just a glimpse of that at the very beginning before looking at the team just hiding in the corner. But with Falcons getting eliminated in 18th, that is insane. Falcons having a very rough start to their day. They only have 3 more games to go, while Flat on the other end, by the way, are starting off so strong. They keep getting this early KP game after game. So far with already 4 KP. The Mad Maggie working wonders. On top of that, being on the Axel, Accuser being on the Altar. 3 KP just for Accuser alone, while Elite, full purples here, Henchman losing out on his shield. Having to be careful, he's going to be able to pop his bat for now. Looking right behind them, at least they have the safety, though, of the TP. And together, as they take the Void Nexus, going all the way down, RRQ get eliminated, while Alliance pick that up for free. 16 squads left. We'll love to see how Alliance are able to recover from this, because it was that pile-up that we keep seeing over by Gardens. DK now looking down at the rotating team alongside them. It's going to be dropped. Trying to find here with the Wrecking Ball, though, Tip, and with Elite being on the other side, it sets up GK nicely, but they have to be careful with the 3P trying to fly around.
I think they were trying to break that door, and you can see the damage already going down. Light on the roof, trying to keep the pressure. Destroy Noct if he can. Kinda back up with some shields on. Maggie Ball ready to explode if needed, but for now they have their pylon up. The fences not allowing them to get in. GK do back away for the time being as Unlimit move in and make their presence known. Nemesis, who have already strung a few kills together this match thus far, are still not quite ready to tackle this. But Wolves will have to get out of the ring eventually.
They at least have like a minute, less than 10 seconds now. Playing on the edge, though. It's going to be difficult. You mentioned Team Nemesis is waiting for them, but they're kind of playing a little split because Kinotra may be the saving grace, depending on the pressure that Nemesis feel, but Dream kind of hurting him just a little bit. Skittlecakes now is going to be able to put down the gen. Wolves now forcing their way outside of the zone, as you mentioned before, and Team Nemesis trying to cover literally 2 teams at the same time. Kinotra on the other side of the fence, while Monsoon, by the way, does take a picking out of Team Heretics. Good luck, Crazy. Unfortunately, that was crazy to try to take that zip line.
The fact that Sacred turns around and looks at the zip, that should give Skittlecakes the reprieve he needs to get back to his team. He was the one that was on that fence line. Okay, Skittles.
He dropped like a hot rock. I saw that death box coming and flying. Wolves get eliminated. This fight's been going on for quite some time, though. This is what we were mentioning in the feed with Team Heretics, Elite, kinda, also getting Keon. So it's that 3-team pileup that we've been seeing before. Elite holding on to this back end. Oh my gosh, he even got sent up early, but he gets the backup as GK get eliminated, but beautiful. As kinda was also right there to help out Henchmen. They get the reset and they get the res.
But if that doesn't highlight the synergy that Elite Esports are operating on, if he's not there to immediately get that trade, the reset for Elite gets pretty much drawn out. And when you need to hit that rotate from the southern side at the fullest health you can in case of a fight, that's a great reset. Like, it's so good.
It is, because now they get to clear up that southern side of zone, right, Tiff? And now they're going to be able to look at the fight happening over to their left side if you're considering Sentinels and Unlimit. Well, Flat, isolated by Clinic. I love this spot for Flat. As long as they don't really get griefed by the northern rotating teams, there is that one lone warrior from Team Heretics trying to make the magic happen. It's going to be hard. Flat playing very split up on purpose as they're harassing Team Heretics, and they get that KP. Good looks here for Flat as Nemesis now deviate their attention over to NIP, still taking their time, but it's going to be Flat. The kings of the next zone pool, where they have control over that ring console. Remember, this zone has been pulling a lot closer to Flat for the last 3 games, and now this time they traverse a little bit as Kenotrope takes the skies.
And here goes the next fight. So much damage was already done to them while on their Valkylt. Now Flat just looking to isolate them. Early on, just before this, I want to note we lost out on Sentinels in this game. We'll see how they work on Stormpoint. For now, Flat, the benefits of landing at a Summers University, a quick rotate north, and Kenotrope already down to 2. Valve trying to see what they can, but it's not enough. We cannot recover from that rotation.
Dude, Flat are like far.
The third party?
Wait, hold on.
The third party?
Talk about the timing here. They lose out on Nano. That was Skittle Cakes. Team Nemesis getting a little bit of revenge, but with this fight now going to take a bit, this is the green light for NIP to move up and grief either of these teams. And now with Nemesis moving up, they find that next knock onto Flat. Now down to a solo. Can they fully reset is the question.
Burning.
The 3P now is going to be able to face off as it's NIP Team Nemesis. Flat just trying to play out their life, looking to get this res next.
Louis been dropping riot drills all over the place, and Sacred playing from the center. Relatively open with NIP moving in. You've got to guard all sides possible. We don't fall there, which is critical. NIP on your left, Flat on the right, and Nemesis sandwiched between.
The fact that they got that res too. That's the retaliation here with the stack up. Elite now, after clearing up their southern side, they hear this fight, and they're walking up for free unless Shopify have something else to say, but it's up to Team Nemesis to hold their ground on the bottom floor of Clinic. Dory now takes the sky. Another team that's just trying to make magic happen. Alliance still alive.
Hackis are guiding light on Alliance, rallying the troops via the Wraith portal, trying to get ahead of the collapse on the west.
Oh my gosh.
Going back in time to see what happened to Unlimit. It's Shopify, a firing squad, and Zap with a wingman is disgusting. We lose out on Aku in that time, and Unlucky has fallen. Hackis last alive. Flat have been so powerful, and Havoc out at the hands of Virtus Pro. I'd imagine we're going to be into our top 5 in just a few moments as everyone tries to get out of the west.
Oh my gosh, they're alive. They're actually alive. And the fact that they're I'm seeing like drills everywhere. It's like almost like a flashbang out here. And Shopify having to back away. It gives some room for VP to breathe, to get these res as VKG understand the situation. You see more drills, but they're dancing around it. They got the death boxes to their feet. They get the evil shield swaps, and they're trying to give in the suppressed fire to both Shopify and VKG. It's up to Dory, though, who are isolated on this north side that are trailing behind VKG. Trying to mirror this, though, is still that solo that is Alliance in the middle of their rotate. Unfortunately, we lost out on 2, leaving only Hawkins alive. VK Gaming do get eliminated, though. VP, they answer back after they wanted to get aggressive on VKG, who tried to fully send it onto VP.
Still one of the longest rotations is VP and Dory. They'll stare at each other as they go. Flat Ninjas and Pajamas and Team Nemesis is also going to be pretty difficult. But a G7 scout in the hands of Tatsu.
I was gonna say, Tiff, like the fact that Hawkins is still alive, he actually takes out Shopify by himself.
I mean, working together with Elite Esports, goodbye Shopify. That clears out that side of the circle. I mean, look, we saw Panic get a solo win by just laying low the other day, so I mean, Hackis can do the same on Wraith. For now, Virtus Pro has fully sent over towards Elite Esports as Dory looks to claw their way into the circle from across the way.
Taking a page out of the Mecha Chameleon book. You love to see it.
Nemesis just eats Virtus Pro out of the lobby. And Virtus Pro still needing to grab points. Nemesis, oh my god, we're on 5. They've set their sights.
Hold on. Albert Laley Sacred, they're eating.
Okay.
They're feasting onto ninjas in pajamas. 5 squads left. And Nemesis now have to fixate on Elite, who may grief them. By the way, Hawkeyes is still alive
He's
as a solo.
He's portaling.
Where is he gonna go? Hawkeyes is keeping the dream alive for the rest of Alliance. The crowd gets a little louder while Kinda still gets a followed-up knock. He's spinning his attention, Flat being right there, sending out the thermite, but having to be careful with the drill. He takes the portal back, plays right underneath Flat. And Nemesis are so fixated on Elite. You can see Light trying to take an off angle. He hears the portal, and Q's just got the Kraber in hand, but misses out on the next shot.
And Hackus just had to keep portaling back and forth, still alive. An infinite ammo Kraber, you're right, for Flat. They're going to have to connect for everything against Nemesis. And even Elite Esports by themselves on the other side. They've climbed to the top of this series, yet again, 17-point gap on second place. You see Kinda there, getting prepped to have shield swaps all around. Light on the rock. Separated, holding so much of the circle. We know Flat and Nemesis are fighting. That is definitely going to happen. Elite's going to look for a third party if they can, unless something changes.
Fact that Hawkeyes is still alive, man. You gotta take a look. As Flat now, they zoom in. Nitro Gate ready. From Nano, dancing around the Arc Stars. You see the evac.
But they don't have Watson.
Oh, some contention. Was that a kidnap here from the other side? They're dancing, playing Ring Around the Rosie, and they get the knock onto Nano. What a beautiful kidnap. As Albert Laley from the other side takes advantage. Now Flat down to a duo, but thankfully they're trying to res him, but oh my goodness.
Alb says no, you're not getting them back on the feet. Remain a duo. They've sighted Hawkeyes, who's still alive. Into the void we go, we dance around, and Sacred pulls another one.
Oh, they get Alliance though.
Flat are down.
So is Flat. 10 KP at the hands of Kinda. He's got to move away though. That drill just taking a chunk out of him. He tries to get the shield top, and now Nemesis looks so good. You talk about the young legends, Sacred versus Kinda, but with their last 2 squads, it's Team Nemesis. They take it away, and they are your Game 3 winners.